How are you doing? Now, last Sunday morning, or yesterday, which was, I don't know what date that was, probably the 24th of September 2023, I received about, I think, 20 texts from 350 people in a Zoom meeting that ShaveZ and Tammy Jackson was running. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually broadcasting live, and I've prepared a whole lot of questions. Now, ShaveZ says he's quite happy to come on a Zoom meeting, but I need to book it with his people. So from my experience, that actually never happens. He's just full of wind. But if you are an investor of We Are Satoshi, you probably won't want to listen to the video that I'm going to do live. But I've sent 20 messages out to people who were the people that text me, inviting me to come on to the Zoom meeting that ShaveZ was running, because they were taunting me to come in and be part of their meeting. They poked fun at the way my finances, and ShaveZ made fun of my age, and they tried to pick on anything they could, because they don't actually have anything on me other than my quest to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. So this is a video that I'm recording now, and I stream live while I'm recording. This is a chat box that you, the live people in the meeting, can actually contribute to. I do long form content. This video is probably going to be about 45 minutes. So if you've got 45 minutes, join me as I record my next video. The chat box can actually come up on the screen in real time and answer questions. So I've got quite a few hard-hitting facts to prove to you that We Are All Satoshi is a Ponzi scheme. There's no such thing as $260 million advertising budget. And I'm not even using my facts. I'm using the information that ShaveZ, Tammy Jackson, and a whole lot of other people that have been promoting this Ponzi scheme have used. So give me a few minutes to get into my recording mode. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. Now, I'm just going to use my iPad down here so I can interact with you in real time. I don't edit my videos, so as you can see, I've got voice in there. So I'm just going to say hello. Hello, this is Danny de Hek. Right. So feel free to join in. You'll see it pops up. I'm just going to check that it actually is coming up on the screen. It is. I'm going to do an introduction like I normally would. I get myself in order, make sure my microphone's out of shock. It's about right there. Probably a bit more tilt on that. And we are looking good. And I've worn a nice shirt today. I might just undo the first button, make it look a bit more casual. Don't want to outdo anyone else on here. I've got my screens over here. And I now have around about 7 or 8 people in the chat room. So I've got my lights on, my sound is going, and I am recording. So what I'm going to do is actually going to do my clicker. And I'll do 3. And that helps me when I'm editing this video to get the audio lined up correctly. I've got some notes. I don't usually use notes. And I think we're all set to go. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. Here we go. If you deposited $10,000 into We Are All Satoshi, they inform me that 30% of your investment will be placed into a vault called the Vault Horizon. 2% of your money goes to fund the tech provider, and a whopping 68% goes into the marketing budget. They have a formula that is enticing people to invest. Now, yesterday was Sunday. It was the 24th of, I think it's September. Yes, September 2023, in case you're watching this video in the future. And I started receiving texts from all these people around the world. And it was from a We Are All Satoshi Zoom meeting. I received around about 20 text messages. They mentioned ShaveZ had shared my phone number and they thought it would be fun texting me. I didn't know what was going on. So I was enticed to join the Zoom meeting, and when I entered, there was 350 people present. That's approximately 5.7% of people decided to participate and send me a text message. So I received text messages like this. ShaveZ gave me your number. ShaveZ loves you. Hey Cheesecake. He's given you a free miner. Hello, Danny. And WAAS is the bomb. And this one was my favourite. Hey there, good looking. ShaveZ spoke about how I had been given multiple chances to walk on the right side of God, but I have wavered off the path by exposing scammers and Ponzi schemers for a living instead, which I thought was quite ironical. However, he said he had a lot of respect for me and he would like to offer me $500 a month if I joined his promotional efforts. Despite being... so I'm a one-man band, and I were published in the New York Times with my quest to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I'm on a mission to expose them. But We Are All Satoshi theoretically has 70,000 people behind them. That's going by Diversified Ventures, which is a YouTube channel. Pascal, I think his name is. So I've been doing quite well with my subscribers that I do have. And I thought I would compare apples with apples, because I'm a one-man band. We Are Satoshi, theoretically, going by what you hear, 70,000 people. So I have 5,340 subscribers, and I've published 586 videos. And this includes a mix of videos, some shorts, some lives, long-form content, which is my specialty. Out of these 400 videos, I've dedicated them to exposing Ponzi schemes and scams. If I took the last 20 videos I did, the long-form ones, my average for each video is 1,124 views. If we look at We Are Satoshi, they have more subscribers than me. They have 7,580 subscribers. Well done, guys. They've published only 56 videos. And if I examine the last 20 long-form videos, or like for like, they are averaging 609 visits per video. So I'm actually getting twice as much traffic for my videos. Now, I'm in marketing, and I'm thinking, they've got 70,000 people, and only 10% of them have subscribed to your YouTube channel. So it does make me wonder if the 70,000 people they claim to be part of We Are All Satoshi is genuine or not, just on those stats alone. So right now, they are instructing people how to go about mining Bitcoin, and it's Bitcoin 2.0. So currently, you can actually, I don't know if people realize this, but you can actually purchase Bitcoin 2.0 on CoinMart for 45 cents each. So ShaveZ is teaching people how to mine Bitcoin 2.0 on their own independent blockchain. He reckons that it's capable of 65,000 transactions per second. However, ShaveZ also claims it costs $3 to mine one Bitcoin 2.0. So from my calculations, and if I'm not correct, all the people that taunted me to come into the Zoom meeting to get a public flogging, correct me. But are you telling me it costs $3 to mine a Bitcoin when you can go buy it right now for 45 cents? Doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I wanted to get on the Zoom meeting and ask some questions. And I'll show you that meeting at the end of this introduction that I'm doing. Right. Now, no part of this makes sense to me. I've reached out to everyone that's texted me yesterday morning and asked them to comment. That's just what I said. And I'm doing a recording hoping that people will enlighten me along the way. So I have a suspicion that they're using jargon that is way over everyone's head, because even I found it difficult to understand what they are saying. And I'm not claiming to be a crypto genius. The only crypto genius that seems to be there is ShaveZ. And he does explain it very simply, but it still goes over my head. And I can bet you bottom dollar that other people are experiencing the same thing. So I think this is just some jargon so that they can actually get people to start selling mining packages. And they want people to purchase a premium subscription. Now, I haven't signed up for the platform. I don't know all the facts, but when you look at the PDF, they say that you can sign up from as little as $50, $500, and $5,000. And if you want to buy a left leg and a right leg, you can purchase those under your name. So technically speaking, from what I can see, is you can purchase what do they call a premium subscription for $150, $1,500, or $15,000 if you want to buy your own left and right leg. Now, I don't understand the left and the right leg because that's that jargon that got a bit complicated for my head. However, they are always trying to come up with a product to justify you buying one of these packages or selling it. Now, there's a bigger scam going on here, which I will explain in a minute, and this is why I got booed out of the Zoom room so much, because the people in the Zoom room are the dirty and disgusting bottom feeders of the world. The people that text me are learning how to sell these packages to people who don't know the jargon, to their friends and family, because all they are after is the commission money that they get when they sign new people up. That's the scam. They don't care about the paradise they're painting over here. So don't get me started on that. Anyway, so this, to me, yes, I've just said it, it reminds me of a Ponzi scheme. Regardless of the product or service or the understanding of that product or service that I get or you get, it is irrelevant. Look at VidiLook, the fallen Ponzi scheme. It started up for the third time. They told people that they could earn rewards for watching outdated commercials that the advertisers were happy to pay for. So this is where I'm going to change screens. I haven't got anyone in the chat room so far who's willing to comment, so hopefully I've got my information right soon. I will pop that up on the screen so people who are watching this video afterwards can see I actually am recording live. I have a screen over here. I currently have 4 thumbs up on the live and 9 people are watching me record this session. So thank you for dropping in. Right, so this is what I've got so far. So they kept on telling me that I don't understand the proof of reserve, and I don't really understand the proof of reserve, but theoretically I do understand that ShaveZ has somehow got the ownership or retain the ownership of the keys that control the proof of reserve. So as long as we trust that ShaveZ is a good upstanding person, God-fearing obviously, then he has the keys to the vault horizon. Now, I hope that he stays alive, because if he dies or he has a heart attack or some act of God, like lightning comes down and strikes him, theoretically, he will take the keys to his grave and no one will ever know where that money or how to get that money, and everyone will be looking at it. That is what I assume the vault is. But using the vault horizon as an example, this is where they tell me, and I've worked out, there's $4.2 million in the vault. And every time someone deposits money into We Are All Satoshi, 30% of that from day one has been going into the vault. And this is where they come unstuck. So this is what the scenario I believe actual is. So working backwards from the 30% that's in the vault horizon that we know no one can change and we can see it by having a look at it. And if I go, where's that gone? If I go to here, you can see the address, you can see the old vault where Sam theoretically may have had control over it is now a zero balance. Now I'll enlarge that a little bit so you can see, but you can see that the transaction was sent out of here to another address. And here is the other address. And currently it tells us how much Bitcoin they have in the vault. Now I'm not a genius, but I did hear a figure of around about 150 Bitcoins are in the vault. Now they're doing this theoretically. I say theoretically, and I don't want to trip up if I can, because they believe that Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000 in 500 days, and they're already, I think they've got 370 odd days left as we are recording this video. But somehow there's going to be a rush on Bitcoin, and all the Bitcoin's going to become scarce. And not only that, just before I get too off my tree, is because Sam was involved originally, he had a way of purchasing Bitcoin on the black market and getting it cheaper than everyone else, which I think is just ludicrous, if you want my opinion. All right, so just bring my computer back to normal. There we go. All right, so from my mathematics and my equation, and also the 8 people that are watching me do this, who theoretically are the people that were taunting me in the Zoom meeting that wouldn't reply to me either, total money invested to date is $14 million. That would give them $9.5 million for the marketing budget. And of course, as you can see in the Vault Horizon, $4.2 million is sitting there hoping that Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000 in the 500-day period that they started off with. And this is the funny part. The tech team, or the tech provider, gets 2%. So theoretically to date, the only money that anyone has actually got out of this, like a tech provider, is $280,000. Does that seem like a lot of money for someone who allegedly was Sam originally, who told everyone he was a billionaire, that he was only going to get 2% of that money? Something smells fishy, but that's the stats. Now, there's a couple of really important facts which I will reiterate later on, but the vault is the only real figure that we have. Now, if you go to the platform and you go through the PDF, they tell you that 30% of all the money that goes into We Are Satoshi goes into the vault, and no one can touch it except ShaveZ, because he's no one. So that means that only 14 million has ever gone into the platform. Now, I've got a video which I will play you in a few minutes where Kate Longley, who was one of the official presenters of We Are Satoshi, tells us there was a $260 million advertising budget. And I've also heard it before, but I've actually got her telling me that in real time. So this makes a lot more sense to me, because let's say 14 million people, $14 million has been invested in We Are All Satoshi. And if we go by the YouTube channel or the other people, I've heard the figure 70,000 people have participated in We Are Satoshi. The average investment is $200. Now, these Ponzi schemes, from my opinion, when I've ever been doing it, they always go after that low-hanging fruit. So it would seem likely that you could either pay $50 and have a membership, but they encourage you to buy your left leg and your right leg under your own name, which is $150. And also there are people out there who may have purchased larger packages. I get phone calls from people every day telling me how much money they have lost to these Ponzi schemes. Now, saying the average is $200 for the 70,000 people that participate actually seems like around about the right figure. Now remember, I don't get the books. Sam didn't give them to me, and ShaveZ, well, he wants to have a meeting with me, but I don't think it's ever going to eventuate. But the average $200 per person sounds reasonable. Okay. Now there's another thing too, that when the system crashed, ShaveZ said that people were withdrawing the money, and he was watching the withdrawals happen, but he didn't stop it. Now, why did he do that? And there's no proof that the withdrawals were actually happening. No one can actually see the money going out of the advertising budget. Everybody is completely in the dark. If the advertising budget was $260 million, as I've got proof in my videos, then there's no transactional proof that that was actually happening. And mathematically speaking, if $14 million was the only money that was invested in this platform, even if they were paying 10x the rewards out, it still wouldn't have bled dry the $260 million. They wouldn't answer my questions in the video I'm about to do. So scenario number 2 is the big question is, let's first of all listen to Kate tell us about the advertising budget. So I've got it all ready to go. Let's get out of that. And we're going to go down to here. And let's listen to Kate.
The actual, well, their personal checks of his, he actually is a multi-billionaire. But
Is he?
the company has a 260 million marketing budget. So
His company.
this was
Wow.
so it has a massive marketing budget. All right, so the Vault Horizon.
So you can go and watch that video of mine. It was published on the 17th of July. So there's Kate Longley, an Australian scammer, telling people that the We Are Satoshi platform, or the owners of it, have a marketing budget of $260,000. Now, just bear with me if you really want to know whether I'm full of shit or not. They tell you in their own PDF that 30% of your money that gets deposited into We Are Satoshi goes into the Vault Horizon. 2% of it goes to the tech provider, and the other 68% goes into the marketing budget. Now, what about the investor? What about the owner of We Are Satoshi? Where do they get their money back, and how do they ever get their money back? She was alleging that Sam Lee was a billionaire. And Sam Lee ain't no billionaire. He got locked up for 3 nights in Dubai because he wrote out 2 checks to a Dubai businessman and they bounced. And Dubaian people don't like fraudulent people. So they locked Sam up for 3 nights. Would that happen to a billionaire? So she's just told us or insinuated that $260 million was invested by Sam or the owner of We Are Satoshi. So the question I want to ask you, Shavis, who's probably listening to this as I record live, is where did that 260 million advertising budget come from? And if it did come from people depositing and the 68% of deposited, here is scenario 2. Now let's see how reasonable this actually sounds. Feel free to ask me any questions if I get this wrong in my live YouTube feed. So the total marketing going by a $260 million marketing budget, which would mean that $382 million would have been deposited by people who invested in We Are Satoshi. Now this is scenario 2. And I'm not saying this is the proper scenario or a scenario, but if it wasn't, the 260 wasn't given to if the owner of We Are Satoshi wasn't the person that put in the $260 million, or it wasn't given by Sam, and it was actually given by people investing on the platforms, the initial investment would be $382 million, which obviously that's where the 260 million advertising budget comes into play. And that means in the vault, remember the vault doesn't lie, there would be $114 million in the Vault Horizon, which we know isn't. And we can see that. And also the tech team would have received a nice $7,600,000 for running the tech behind the platform instead of the $280,000 they would have got. Now, what scenario do you think makes more sense? Now, the reason why I've done scenario 2 is because scenario 2 would make some sort of plausibleness for the $260 million deposit. The 260 million marketing budget. And who the hell would put in $260 million without some way of getting a return on their investment? It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense, but the fact that $14 million is the money that's gone into this platform makes a lot more sense to me. Now, remember Sam, when he was running this company, he had his photo all over it, and they've taken it all off in the last 3 weeks. He was walking around showing off that he had 8 buildings that he leased in Dubai, and he had thousands of staff. He did a walk around showing everyone all the buildings he used, and he walked in on a Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock, and no one was in the office. He didn't even do a walkthrough and show you the staff that he had. I spent 3.5 hours talking to Sam in a chat message with 3,000 other people. I told him all about the $50 million that he had stolen from Australian investors and how the liquidators wanted to talk to him. He was telling me that he has already talked to the liquidators, and I said they still want to talk to you. I said that when you go back to Australia, you're going to be arrested. He said if there's an arrest warrant out for him, give him a copy of it. And I said, no, they want to question you first, and then they would lock you up. And then I said, you're not a billionaire. And he said, I've never said I were a billionaire. So Sam, and I've got it in one of my other videos, if you want it, put it in the comments, I'll give you the link, said that he was not a billionaire. So there's Kate Longley telling me that Sam is a billionaire, and here she is telling me there's a $260 million marketing budget, but the Vault Horizon is where it all comes unstuck, because that Vault Horizon has only got $4.2 million in it, which means $14 million has ever been invested in We Are All Satoshi. How did the $260 million get paid out to the people? Because it's mathematically impossible. So what I'm telling you guys is that everything you have been told by ShaveZ or Tammy Jackson or Sheila Morris or Yvonne Murray or Carl Millar is lies. The reason why they give me such a hard time in this Zoom meeting, and I think I handle myself pretty good, is because they are taking the commission money from you. Now, to prove that, you can go to my meeting and you can see in here that Kate was withdrawing the money in straight time. And I don't know, last Rob summary, 80 weeks, rinse and repeat, question and answers, club marketing rewards. I think in here you will find that she is actually in the back end of, I don't want to lose you, but in here you can actually, she shows us in real time the back end of the computer where she's showing us she has actually withdrawn the money that she's been receiving from signing people up. So in the video that we're about to have a look at, you will see me in here, and I've actually been asked to speak as the keynote speaker. And I wanted to ask them these questions. However, they kept gaslighting me and talking over me. So let's go on with scenario 2. So does it seem feasible? Does it seem logical that the 70,000 participants had averagely put in 5,462? That's the figure, the average figure that would have had to eventuate if people did have the marketing budget of 260 million. It doesn't make sense. So I want to know from ShaveZ, how did $14 million turn into $160 million worth of advertising budget in just 100 days? Where did the $260 million of advertising budget come from? ShaveZ, I know you watch my videos. You've already tried to take one of them off the internet. You claim that it wasn't you, and you also claim that the name that you used wasn't your real name. And you seem to be really smirky about the fact that no one knows your last name and you've managed to hide your identity. However, all those people that were chuckling away in the YouTube meeting would also be a bit concerned that you don't know the guy that's got the keys to the Vault Horizon. And really, guys, all this here for 70,000 people, if you divide 4.2 million into 70,000 people, you're theoretically going to get your 30% back. Now, you're banking on either one of two things: recruiting new people into buying mining packages for $50, $500, or $1,500, who will also be enticed to buy the left leg and right leg. So the average investment will probably be $150. I've just shown you that the average investment is actually $200 at the moment, going by the money in the Vault Horizon. So you need to recruit new people. So at the moment, just like they did the VidiLook, which is all the same thing with Sam, is they were getting people to watch outdated videos. Now they're going to be asking you to set up people so they can do mining for Bitcoin 2. Now the mining cost is $3 per Bitcoin 2. You can buy the same Bitcoin 2 at the moment on the market for 45 cents each. Now, the other thing, they've only been out for a couple of 3 months, the Bitcoin 2. So who says that that's not going to lose all its value? And also, when you're mining, you'll actually be mining with the We Are Satoshi token, whatever that is. It slips my brain. And then you need to convert it from into USDT to get your money out of the platform. So because they're mining, then you're going to use a lot of electricity. Now, I don't know much about mining, but I had a friend of mine that actually had a bank of computers, and he had like high-powered graphic cards, and he was making $8,000 a month from mining. And his power bill per month was $4,000 per month. And I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and I said to him, "Hey, are you still mining?" He goes, "No way, man. I can't afford to mine the energy it takes." Now, he might have been mining Bitcoin. I don't know anything about mining. But when ShaveZ tells me it takes $3 to mine one coin, and then he alleges that you'll be able to sell that coin, you harvest it, you need to pay to harvest it, you need to pay the $3, and then to get that coin out, you'd make $4.17. And he claims that people won't worry about paying $3 to harvest because you'll make $1.17 per coin. Now, I don't know where he gets his stats from for the worth or the value of the coin, but it does seem unusual that they've got money in the Vault Horizon that is Bitcoin, and now they're trying to educate people how to do mining so that they can mine Bitcoin 2.0. And the fact that they have this stupid idiot guy come in there called We Are Satoshi is even more stupid. You mean you've got a guy in there called Mr. Satoshi comes in there and offers advice on how to start up a secondary Bitcoin? Doesn't make sense. So these are the questions I want ShaveZ to answer in his next meeting. How did ShaveZ attain the control over the proof of reserve? How did Sam, if he was the original owner, actually managed to walk away from a vault with $4.2 million worth of Bitcoin in it and just leave it on the table for ShaveZ? Why did he trust ShaveZ so much in the first place? That's what I want to know. Okay, now the other one, these are questions I want you to answer, ShaveZ. If someone invested $260 million in the advertising budget, and if it didn't come in naturally from people investing, because we can see this because it doesn't add up in the vault, why wouldn't they want a return on their investment? And how is that going to be paid? Because there's no equation in your own PDF that talks about the person that gave that $260 million getting their return on their investment. And allegedly, it was insinuated that Sam was flipping the bill for that for whatever reason. And I don't know anyone that would put $260 million into a platform and then walk away from it. And not only that, leave the keys to the crypto on the table for the guy that seemed to be working for him to take it up and become the guru. So the big question is, who is the owner of We Are Satoshi? I know you talk about having a leadership team of 9 people, but they're not the owners. Whoever started this up, there must be an owner. Who is the owner of We Are Satoshi? And no one can withdraw funds from the Vault Horizon. And that is where all the money is. So at the moment, the Vault Horizon, every single bit of money that theoretically has gone into the platform, which I don't actually know if that's trackable. Just like we don't know, can't see any figures on the marketing budget be paid out. How do we actually know the money has actually gone into the Vault Horizon initially? So at the moment, theoretically, if we believe that everything is kosher and above board, then at the moment, the vault is as full as it has ever been, where we got our mathematical sums from. And if ShaveZ is in 100% control, why can't he tell us his real name? So ShaveZ, I asked you for your real name and you smirked it off and you thought it was a joke. But everyone knows my real name. I don't hide. I mean, the fact that you gave out my phone number doesn't bother me in the slightest. So can you trust ShaveZ? Why are you trusting this guy? I mean, he made fun of my age. Tammy made fun of my wealth. They said that my recording studio looked like I had a flash recording studio. What difference does it make if I'm on the bones of my ass or a multi-millionaire? Does it matter if I'm 80 or does it matter if I'm 15? Why do I know those call centers when you ring them up in India and they tell you that you've had an Amazon payment or a Norton's check. They always make fun of your age and take a lot of fun out of your mother as well, remember. So can you trust Jarvis? And did you trust Sam? And do you trust him now? Right. So reiterating that, if you want that, it will be in the notes. And I want your comments. So at the moment, I have 14 people watching me record this live. And I've texted the 20 people that wanted to taunt me when I was doing when I was invited to talk in the Zoom meeting. Now, out of those 20 people that taunted me and sent me a message, they remind me of mum and dad investors. As I said, they use jargon that is very complicated and hard to understand. Now, I bet my bottom dollar that no one in that room, except a very small handful of people, actually understand the jargon they are using. And they are like mice on the wheel, and they're just running around because they are doing something, because they're learning stuff about mining or minting. I call it mining or minting. I can't keep up with it all. They think they're going to get something for the return of their investment in time. I've just shown you that somebody in here has invested $260 million and hasn't got any which way of them getting their return on their investment. There's no thing in the whole business plan that the owner of We Are Satoshi is ever going to get back his $260 million marketing package. Now, wait, there's more, because we have the video that I jumped into. Now, you'll have to excuse me because when I did this video, they did it on their prime time meeting on Sunday evening, as far as I could work out. No, it must have been Saturday evening. Excuse me if I get a little bit of my information wrong. I've actually spent the whole day putting together this information, and I hope that you are not thinking about investing in We Are Satoshi. And if you are thinking about investing in We Are Satoshi, people often ask me, what is my why? Why do I do this? I'm not doing it for the YouTube subscribers. I'm not doing it for the money, the pittance they pay you for doing these videos. I've done over 400 videos exposing scammers and Ponzi schemes. So if you don't know who I am and what I'm all about, I was brought up in a religious cult, and I was shunned out of that religious cult at the age of 23 years of age. And it meant that I lost all my family that were in that religion. I lost them all. And I used to believe everything the elders, the ministerial servants, and the speakers on the stage used to say. And I used to go out and knock on people's doors. I used to preach for 60 hours a month. I used to work as a painter and a decorator. And then I had premarital sex. And they put me out the back with the three elders, and they found that they thought that I weren't repentant. Well, they did actually think I was repentant. Now, I used to go to the Kingdom Hall. I got kicked out. I used to go to the Kingdom Hall for 4 months, bawling my eyes out every single meeting. They reinstated me back into the congregation. 6 months later, I had premarital sex again, did the same thing again. This time they kicked me out because they were worried that the sisters in the congregation might have likened me, and it could happen again. In the meantime, I don't have any of my family. They don't talk to me. They disown me. I've had 2 people in my family, my stepfather and my sister, who was 2 years older than me, die by suicide because of the detrimental effects that the Jehovah's Witness organization had on their lives. Now, when I was in the New York Times, I had people reach out to me. One of the organization reached out to me, told me that they had tracked 11 people that had died by suicide that had involved in Ponzi schemes. So that's my driving force. I don't care. I definitely am not rich, and I definitely do worry about paying my bills every month. So if you do want to support my channel, you can say thanks with the button below, and I really appreciate it. It will help me do more videos and expose more people. But that's not my driving force. My driving force is I don't like people that defraud people. I don't like people who tell you one thing when they know it's not true just to get that commission money. Everybody in this Zoom meeting that you're about to watch is there not because they believe they're minting tokens and crypto. They don't care about that. They're learning so they can be salesmen, so they can recruit people, so that you sign up for those mining packages, the $50, the $50, the $500, and the $5,000. That's what they're after. And they want you to buy your left leg and your right leg, and they will get commissions along the way. You listen to the PDFs. They talk very rarely about everything else other than the commissions and building your downlines. All right, so let's get stuck into it. Hope you enjoy the video. It's quite comical. I did actually enjoy being invited. I did enjoy the texts I received from people telling me to all sorts of things. It's only 15 minutes long, and I'll try not to talk too much. Anyway, I was getting my camera gear ready at the start.
Heck, you got some pretty nice equipment there too, man. With you not making any money, how could you afford that expensive equipment?
So why is that relevant, Tammy Jackson? Why is it relevant whether I have flash equipment or the worst equipment or I'm recording this on my cell phone? Are you trying to justify the fact what I do?
He makes a lot of money while doing all this. Let's put him into right work. God has given so many chances to so many people to follow the right path, Danny. I think it is a very good day, 23rd of September. You are also getting a new beginning to your life. If you want to accept my offering and work for We Are All Satoshi as a social media and PR representative, I will pay you $500 a month.
So currently I'm a one-man band, and my videos receive twice as many views as an organization that theoretically has 70,000 people who have participated in We Are All Satoshi. So that 70,000 people, only 10% of them have actually subscribed to the YouTube channel. And that's if the people like me have subscribed. So it's just absolutely sarcasm. I don't know how to explain it, but he was actually like the smug people. And Tammy Jackson, well, she's no worse. So Tammy Jackson and ShaveZ are the two people who are running all this. And they're bottom feeders of the world, if you want my opinion. Anyway, let's carry on.
What do you say, Danny?
He's not saying anything. He's setting up his life. Bro, we don't have time. We will kick you out. In 1, 2, 3.
Very clever.
4.
No, I want to get the right wallpaper on. Is this working?
No.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, go.
7, 8.
Why would I want to work for you guys?
Not they. Me. Just me.
Why? Why would I do that? What do you think I do these videos for?
You really work hard, and you are an old guy.
But why do you insult people's ages for? Isn't everyone equal?
Come on, really?
No, really. I mean, you insult my age. I don't insult your age. You're 27 years old and you're a genius.
You know my age?
Well, you've said your age. I don't know your name because... What is your name, mate? Why don't you have a name?
I really respect you, Danny. You know what? Because you work so hard, and I also work hard.
Well, why? I mean, what does it matter how hard somebody works?
It matters. It matters to me. I recognize good people and people who actually work hard, but they are sometimes misguided.
But why do you think I'm misguided? Because the history of We Are Satoshi has been one of destruction.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you why and where you are misguided.
Don't put words in my mouth, because I don't believe I am misguided, and I have as much right to question your activities as anyone else. And when I do, I get shut down. So you are the ones that are creating something out of nothing. You don't actually have any product or service. And my YouTube channel was actually all about exposing people who run Ponzi schemes. And if you look up the definition of a Ponzi scheme, they don't have a product or service. And you can't say you're minting as a product. Now, just with that point there, I said minting instead of mining. And when you don't get your facts quite right, they take the piss out of you. So he's about to say, I don't know the difference between minting and mining. But my point is, you don't actually need to know the difference between those, because that isn't the actual product or service. It's just a paradise that they're painting, that you're going to be doing something to get something. Now, if you want to prove the track record of that, look at VidiLook. And they were telling people if they watched their commercials, they would get rewarded monetarily every day. You'd invest $1,500, and I think at the time you'd get $55 a day paid out if you watched all your allotted adverts. I don't know how many adverts. I'd love to see some of the adverts if you've got any of them. But anyway, so he managed to get in edgeway there, but so did I, because I get to do the final save, because I get to do a voiceover of the video. So here we go. Let him carry on again.
Do you think mining is not a product?
I don't think it's a product, because no one's talking about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
And the elephant in the room is you're going to set up everyone so they can mint these tokens, but no one is going to think they're of value.
No, it's not.
So I'll jump back in here again, and I'm sorry for going back and forth, but this is the truth, because these minting or the mining that they're doing, they actually are mining them in their own tokens, and then you can transfer them into Bitcoin too if you want, as far as my knowledge goes, which basically means it's like playing a game of Monopoly. It's a sealed game. You're only playing with other Monopoly people. So the worth or the value of the tokens that you mint or you burn, or the Bitcoin that you create, can only be traded within the platform. And so people will think they're actually doing something. Now, if it costs $3, this is not my words, this is their words in their meetings about 7 days ago. He drew on his iPad how much it cost to mint one of these Bitcoin tokens, which was $3. You can buy them for 45 cents each now. Why would you spend $3 when you can buy something for $45? It's all about getting people to do things. And also, as the more you mine something, the more resources it takes and the more power it takes to generate stuff. So anyway, carry on.
Token. Danny, do you know the difference between token
No,
and a
I don't
coin?
need to know the difference between a token. I don't need to know about minting, NFTs.
My old friend.
I'm not your friend. Don't be so condescending. Carl
my
Miller's
old
my friend.
enemy.
He's in here. Carl Miller took $3,000 of your money and put it into his bank account. Hey, Carl. So if you can't see Carl, he's about in the middle and he's got a big laughing face on him. Now, the next video I'm going to do is actually on Carl Miller. I've got a voice recording of him actually talking to someone who is about to invest money. And then the same people had gave me a voice recording recorded 2 days ago. And he's telling them he's suggesting that they put their money into Diversified. Now, he's not telling them to do it, but he's telling them that this is what the go is at the moment. And I've got this recording of Carl Miller doing that. Now, it shows you that Carl Miller's in here learning about We Are All Satoshi. Carl Miller is meant to be one of the biggest Ponzi scheme promoters in Australia, with Yvonne Henry, with Kate Longley and another guy called George. And they're called the Anzac whalers, I think they're called. They look like whales too, but I don't want to get personal. But what I'm getting at there is that this guy is promoting two Ponzi schemes at the same time. Now, Diversified was all promoted by Pinnaky Nark. Remember him? Now, Keith Williams, Kalpesh Patel, remember them guys? Ryan Zhu, and obviously our famous Sam Lee. These guys have all been promoting these Ponzi schemes where people have lost millions of dollars. And here's Carl in here laughing his head off. Now, what happened is the couple that contacted me said that when they deposited the $3,000 for the VAV platform, he gave them a bank account number to put the money in. Now, the VAV Ponzi scheme was you put your money in, and within 24 hours, you can withdraw half your money that you put in. And it was $750 and $1,500. Now, only people that ever got the money out was day one. When they put the money in the bank account, it got transferred from the Australian bank account to a Singapore bank account. We tracked the funds. The Singapore people who put the money in would have cost them $200 to transfer that money out. So straight away, they would have lost $200 of that $3,000, which shows you there's no way that money was ever intended to go back to people. Carl Miller, the guy that's laughing, has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from people by giving them financial advice when he's not a financial advisor. And if you listen to my next video, you will hear him in action, and it's disgusting. And it's undisputable that this guy knows what he's doing. And the fact that he's promoting two Ponzi schemes at the same time shows you he's not even loyal to the Ponzi scheme he's promoting. I've got the bank account number from where he did that.
Okay. But what did you get when you have the bank account number? What pleasure, what fetish is fulfilled?
Because
Listen
we
to me.
found, well, we actually gave it to the ATO, which is Australian Tax Department. Just like Kate Longley, she works with Carl Millar. She's a school teacher. And we contacted the school, advising them that they have a person in there that's encouraging people to sign up for illegal Ponzi schemes. I found everything about her, and I wrote letters to people she's associated with. The men in black that I deal with every now and again aren't interested in stopping these people who run Ponzi schemes. So you guys are fine. You'll be fine. That's why I can't even say the word, Vangeletta. Well, I go after these guys by naming and shaming because I know they're going to get away with it. Every now and again, I get someone contacting me asking for details about a certain person. Now, the last person that was Alice Maysbury. Now, I had a policeman from his county contact me asking for more information because I had identified another lady that had lost money. So if you really want to fight the person that, if you want to stop the people that steal your money, like everyone's doing a lawsuit against Hyperverse, don't do it. Don't bother. No time about it. They want to go after Ryan Drew and Sam Lever because they think the money's still there. Now, Ryan Drew might have the money. He's in hiding. Last time I saw a video of him, it looked like he's in the pool. But what I'm getting at is you go after the person that introduced you to it. If Carl Millar introduced you to this Ponzi scheme, go to your local police station and complain about him giving you financial advice when he's not a registered financial advisor. That's how you fight these guys. That's why I name and shame them, because I know that law enforcement ain't interested in doing anything. Roy Conarcher is claiming that if you pay him $15, he's going to do a class action lawsuit against Hyperverse. And if 10,000 people put their hand up, he's going to help you, do a lawsuit against these guys. All they're doing is building up their communities, using these as slow exit strategies. These guys can be smug and condescending because they think that they are untouchable. That's why these guys often are based in Dubai. The company behind the bank, is this a great joke to you? Do you think it's funny that people are investing money and losing it? Look at Hyperverse. Look at the history of Hyperverse. And you're going to say we're not Hyperverse, but you've had Sam Lee pushing this since the beginning.
So what?
So what? People have invested their money. People have taken out second mortgages to invest in these schemes. You have been promoting Sam Lee, and now you've come along for the third time. Tell me why you think that this is... Okay, you go for it, mate. You tell me why this is good, because I know you've been practicing this.
Answer me. Did any We Are All Satoshi member lose any money?
So the answer to that is yes, because if you put $1,000 in it, 30% of your money went into the Vault Horizon. Now, what they're banking on is you haven't lost any money because they reckon they know something about Bitcoin that no one else in the world... Now, does everyone know that the halving's going on? So they're going to halve Bitcoin, make it easier for them to mine, I assume. So they are alleging that Bitcoin's going to be worth $100,000. And because they've taken 30% of your money, that will turn into whatever you put in, it will triple your money and you'll break even. But they reckon it's going to go higher than $100,000 per Bitcoin. Now, I just shown you in the first part of this video, if you've jumped forward, that only ever has $14 million been put into the We Are Satoshi platform, going by their own stats. That is if they have actually put that money into the Vault Horizon. The Vault Horizon currently has $4.2 million in it. Where did the $260 million advertising budget come from? Where did it go? ShaveZ said this was the most successful platform he's ever seen. It was just ran by an idiot called Sam Lee, is what he's literally said. Now, they were burning $65 million a month on paying out the advertising budget to people with rewards. Now, $14 million has been put into this platform. It mathematically does not add up to $260 million being paid out in a 4-month period. Literally what they're saying is the $14 million that was invested somehow turned into $260 million. And then all of a sudden, it got bled out of the system. ShaveZ was the only person that saw it happening. And there's no proof at all that we've seen that when the money was getting poured out of the platform. There's absolutely no proof of that. And it just happened to coincide that VidiLook fell over for the second time the same week. And the VAV scam was also fell over all within a 2-week period. Just before all the funds got stripped out of the Vault Horizon, Sam Lee introduced a $5,000 package. And people like Pascal, which is the guy Diversified, whatever, the one I talked about where I got the 70,000 people from, he said that he bought a $5,000 package. And he said Sam didn't offer any rewards for that money whatsoever. He just basically said put $5,000 into a We Are Satoshi membership plan and he'll figure out what to do with it later. How ridiculous is that? But no one's got any proof of any money either going in like that or obviously being taken out with the advertising budget. So all these figures are there to bamboozle people with figures. But think about this. The only proof that we've got is the Vault Horizon. And that may be the saving grace that hopefully wakes you up. Because out of that Vault Horizon, only ever could there be $14 million come into We Are All Satoshi. Crazy. Anyway, let's him carry on abusing me because I'm just trying to find out the guy's name for a start and use a bit of common sense, and they won't have a bar of it. Remember, the people in this meeting are all in there, like Kate Longley. She's actually in there. I saw her when I was in there. She actually had 42 people that she had introduced into the platform, and she showed us the back end. You can watch the video yourself where she had taken the money out. So as soon as Bill down the road puts his money in, she gets a commission and she takes it out. That's all these people are doing. These are the dirty and disgusting bottom feeders of the world. They are taking the money out as you put it in. They don't care about the longevity of this system. They don't care about the 500 days. They're making money as they go. Now, I've shown you Carl Millar. He's obviously now talking about promoting Diversal, which is the dregs of hyperverse people who are hoping to get their money back. And now he's promoting Diversal. He's been promoting VidiLook. And if you go through their YouTube videos, you can see they'll promote anything. Even that, if I'm going to have a quick look at this guy here, Diversified Ventures. Now, this is a typical guy. Now, this guy here, you might have seen his face, but that's Pascal, if I'm getting your name right. Oh, my head's in the way. Pascal, where is he? There he is. So if you look at all these here, you can see like Roy Kanacha is in here 3 months ago promoting VidiLook. And if you go down and down and down, you'll just see these guys just promote Ponzi scheme after Ponzi scheme after Ponzi scheme. And as soon as another one starts up, you can bet your bottom dollar, like Daisy. That's another Ponzi scheme. And if I go down here long enough, I'll probably find hyperverse stuff. And you'll find this guy coming in here telling you a whole lot of porkies just to get that commission money. And, you know, here they are promoting Stable Deo when it started. Now, Stable Deo was actually a property investment company. Garrett, if you can believe him, who's just started up his own Ponzi scheme, said that they were trying to raise $10 million and they only ever raised $200,000. And you've got Tammy Jackson in there promoting that as well. I mean, this one here, that guy there looks like Steve Condos, but it's not. But anyway, you can see, I mean, how many of these videos. There we go. Here's Hibernation Update. You know, everything that you can think of when it comes to these platforms and these opportunities. Are you telling me that the guy that runs this YouTube channel doesn't know that at least one of these Ponzi schemes was a Ponzi scheme? And if you went into any single one of these opportunities that he's promoting, you will find either a Pinnaky Nark, a Keith Williams, a Rodney Ford, a Brenda Chunga. You'll find a Tammy Jackson. You'll find, Gorman. You'll find, I've got over 95 profiles that I'm actually going through and building data on. Everybody that goes, if I went to Millarnote, you can see this is my database. I actually literally have all the Ponzi schemes known to man. I might just turn that off for a second in case you see something you shouldn't. Where are we? YouTube. Come on, load up. Loading. Ponzi scheme, persons of interest. I've got 98. So I've got 98 persons of interest, people that I am investigating, people that have been promoting Ponzi schemes or scams. There's Amy, John Barksdale, Roy Kanacha. Like we've got Tammy Jackson, Diego. I've just got hundreds of these people, and that's the people I've got information on. If you went into just one of those, like what about Goldman? Now here's a guy that claimed that Sam had been. Now this guy's been. He just bought his brother-in-law a new car when he returned back to the UK. He made the claim that Sam had 600 prisoners released to his care. This is a funny story. 600 prisoners were released to Sam Lee's care. He was putting them up in a 5-star hotel. He gave them jobs, accommodation and food and money. And when they paid back the money to the Dubai government, they were set free. And Sam was the philanthropist that was doing that. Would you believe that was the story that Gobi came out with about Sam? Now, where's Sam gone? Well, he's disappeared, hasn't he? So let's get back to the show, the workshop, and let's carry on listening to this. What prove you've got money? Excuse me.
No.
No.
Wait.
Prove you've got no proof that you've got money in that vault. None at all. Prove it. Well, that's where I made a mistake, because there is proof there's money there, but there's also a problem with that. ShaveZ, who won't tell us his last name, is the only person that had access to it, and some other things that don't make any sense. If you were Sam and you invested allegedly $260 million, would you really let someone else have the keys to a vault where all the money is sitting? Well, not all the money, but 30% of your invested money, which is $14 million. And why doesn't the person that invested the $260,000 want a return on their investment? Any reasons? It doesn't make sense. Who owns We Are Satoshi? So I made a mistake there by saying there's no proof, but there is no proof that the amount of money put into the vault is correct from my perspective. If I'm wrong, then you guys that taunted me to come into this leadership meeting, put the comments down there, put my facts right. Don't let me mislead people. I don't have all the facts, but I have a lot of them. Using your own information in the Vault Horizon, I can see that you've only had $14 million invested in this Ponzi scheme.
It's public.
It's not public.
You deny a public blockchain address? Oh, you are not updated. You are not coming on calls, that means.
That's a typical standard excuse they use. No, tell me where the $240 million came from originally.
$240 million? Where?
He's misguided, like you said, ShaveZ.
No, you want to answer. He didn't deny the fact. I thought it was 240, but at the time, going by Kate Longley, she told me that Sam's a billionaire and they have a marketing budget of $260 million. No one has actually said where that money's come from, but he didn't deny it, did he? My questions. You can talk over me.
He knows the industry,
Tammy,
but he doesn't know anything.
Tammy.
He does these Zoom calls. He doesn't know anything.
See, they just gaslight people, and that's what they do to people. I don't need to know, but there was a $240 million or $260 million advertising budget. Where did that budget come from?
It was a structure. It is still a structure. You know how company works.
Excellent. I didn't actually pick up on that. I haven't actually watched my own video back. He said there was a structure. So this is important because you guys are giving me a hard time, and he's just said there's a structure. This is the structure. If we go back to scenario 2, the structure is, he's telling me the structure has given them the $260 million advertising marketing budget. Now that means that the average person that invested in We Are Satoshi would have been $5,462. He the advertising structure that he's just talked about doesn't equate to the amount of money that was in the Vault Horizon. So that would mean that he wasn't actually putting the 30% in the Vault Horizon, or somebody has deposited the $260,000, $260 million, like I can't even say it, philanthropist. So would Sam put $260 million into this and walk away? ShaveZ, right now, has just said, I don't understand the structure. Now, if he's going to explain to me the structure is that 30% of the money that goes into the Vault Horizon and 68% of the money goes into the marketing budget, then where's the rest of the money in the Vault Horizon, ShaveZ? You tell me that. Let's carry on.
In the revenue, in the profits, what is revenue?
Oh, so does that mean there's been $350 million? Well, how much money has been deposited into We Are All Satoshi from the start then to get that advertising budget? Because it's 30% of the money goes into the vault, 68% of it.
Let me tell you.
Hello?
How can you get to know? You sign up on We Are All Satoshi today under card, okay?
No, so he's just taking the piss out of me. He doesn't even want to answer the questions. But I have actually asked a very valid question. And just like you see here, I'm asking the $382 million that theoretically would have been the amount of money needed to actually get an advertising marketing budget of $260 million. So there's no way. So now he's taking the piss and he's telling me to sign up under Carl, who's off busy promoting Diversified.
Create an account, okay? Hit Bitcoin Club, then you will get to see the volume.
No, but it's all smoke and mirrors, mate. You still haven't proved that you've got money in this vault, right? Why did you start up a number 2 vault if the money's secured in number 1 vault?
Okay, because it's sent for audit.
I just can't get over the shit that comes out of that guy's mouth. So they're auditing a vault. Now, everything on the blockchain. Now, if you look at the vault, now we will do this because if you're an investor, you really need to know the truth. So as far as I'm aware, the vault here has been used to buy Bitcoin. So this is the vault which has the money been transferred to. This was the original one. Now in here, you can see that they are depositing money theoretically or Bitcoin regularly. There's actually not a hell of a lot of transactions. It only goes back 3. So 3 weeks ago, theoretically, Sam's business, he walked away from it and he left ShaveZ in charge of the money and the business. And he's been quite happy to do that. That's what you're led to believe. And now he's telling me that it's been audited and it's going to the audit. I mean, is this the excuse that you really think's true and genuine? So I've got 19 people in my chat room here. Now 20 people in the chat room, 8 thumbs up, thank you very much. And I'm going to put that on the window so you can see it. And if anyone wants to inform me of where I'm going wrong, then please let me know. But so far, $260 million has been used in the advertising budget, $65 million per month has gone out the window. And going by what's currently in the Vault Horizon would tell me that the only money that's ever come into this platform is $14 million, which means somehow they've turned $14 million into a $260 million advertising budget that was bleeding at $65 million a month. And then ShaveZ will tell you that this was the best platform he's ever seen in his life, and it only got to 20%, all because they had an advertising budget of $260 million. You can see where this is going. But listen to the smirky answers you get from someone who theoretically is running a company going by what he says that has turned over $382 million. Sam Lee's walked away from it, doing cocaine or doing whatever he's doing. Now I've heard that Sam's responsible for human trafficking and grooming women from China and bringing them over. And he's using the guy that Garrett's old business partner to do so. And I've actually got people who have actually been brought over. I've got a lady who's thanking me for saving her life. And Sam was trying to bring her over next month to Dubai to bring her over. He's already done her house up and all sorts of shit. It's just amazing. Anyway, let's not get distracted about Sam because he's not in it anymore. We have a new owner, don't we? A new tech guy. It's just ridiculous.
Who
would audit this?
Chainlink.
Chainlink. Do we have any proof that Chainlink are doing an audit on this Ponzi scheme? Anyone should be able to find that out. I mean, really? Is that the excuse you've got for a vault that's only got $4.2 million in it? Okay. Rubbish.
Do you know what is proof of reserve?
I do. I looked it up. I want to know where your
What is that?
$240 million budget come from. No, where
not
did your
talk about
budget come
numbers.
from, ShaveZ?
Do you know what is proof of reserve?
I don't.
First.
I'm not even going to go there with you, mate. It's
Oh.
irrelevant. I don't need to know the proof of reserve. And yes, I did investigate it. I'm dyslexic. When I read the words, they don't go into my head. Okay, so we've got a proof. Now, using their own proof of reserve, we've worked out that $14 million is the only money that has come into We Are Satoshi. Some idiot out there has put $260 million into this. So $14 million is the only money that, going by what they're saying, has gone into the platform using their proof of reserve. I mean, are we talking the same language? I mean, I've got nothing to gain or lose from telling you this information. I don't have any interior motive. I'm just trying to save people from getting scammed from these scammers. The lies and the mistruths and the information they feed these people. Really? Do you think that you've discovered how crypto works and you're going to learn how to mine crypto and you're going to trade it? No one has actually stopped to say, what is the demand for the coin or the coins that you're producing? Who is actually going to buy them? Now, you're going to be making NFTs. Now, NFTs, in my opinion, died 2 years ago. This is the hope. They're going to teach people the old school. They're using affiliate marketing. I have made $100,000 in a 4-month period in affiliate marketing. Doesn't that sound good? That was in 2004. I mean, affiliate marketing's old. It's just a new name for multi-level marketing. Paying people commissions for referrals. This is multi-level marketing. This is a Ponzi scheme. There's no product or service. Just like you've been fooled out of your money with VAV, didn't even have a product or service, straight Ponzi scheme. Same with Hypercosmos. No product or service. You sold a package, you got 50% of it. Now they've done VidiLook and you watch outdated commercials. Any of those commercials, I'd love to watch them. I've never seen any. I never signed up for the platform. I would love to see the commercials that you were watching, thinking that you were getting daily rewards for watching outdated commercials. And now Sam has got a lady by Summer starting up VidiEnd, VidiLook 3, VEND. And I'm going to do a video on her. I've been researching her. Just 2 days ago, she's in there promoting it, and Sam was in there, even wore a sports jacket trying to look flash. These guys are just disgusting bottom feeders of the world. We don't even know Chavez's last name. He tried to do a copyright strike on one of my videos. YouTube came back and said I was using it in fair use, just like I'm using this one, and he used a name, and I questioned him in here about that. And he won't answer me. He tells me that the name that he used to report the video wasn't his real name. And I don't believe that's true. But then when I researched the real name, I couldn't find him anywhere. Can't find him, doesn't exist. So it tells me he's either using a fake name, but this guy has the keys to the Vault Horizon. So you're putting all your faith in Chavez. Did you put all your faith in Sam? Did you put all your faith in Mr. H? You know, where does it stop, guys?
He doesn't know.
You don't know the difference between token and coin. You just talk about, some numbers, and then you go out and shame people. And how dare you to shame me on the calls? What wrong did I do to the community? What wrong did I do to you?
What's your name, mate?
What's
your name?
What's kept in the name?
What is your name? What is your name? That's a simple. My name is Danny de Hek. What is your name, mate?
Danny de Hek. I'm not Sam Lee who comes on Zoom with passports, right?
No, but isn't it polite to know somebody's name? Isn't that a simple question?
Don't you claim that you already have his name? Why are you asking?
No, because I don't believe it's his real name, because when you look him up, he doesn't exist. Now, you said you started up your own corporation at the age of 17. Is that correct?
If you find my name, if you find my one document, I will give you $10,000.
So listen to this. So Chavez reckons he's going to give me $10,000 if I find the one document, which will probably be his birth certificate, with his real name on it. Doesn't that ring alarm bells? He says he's 100% in control of We Are All Satoshi. Now, the committee, or the leaders that he's putting together, the 9 people, Who do you think, is he appointing them or are they appointing him? So this guy that thinks he's a smart ass and only has one document with his name on, even though he must have lied when he reported my video to YouTube, that he's used a fake name, is now telling you he's smug by the fact that I don't know his name. And he's going to give me $10,000 if I find his real name. I mean, do you trust that this guy is doing the right thing? What's saying that when all your money's exhausted and they've squeezed all the blood out of the stone for what you are investing in, that he doesn't just take off and then you'll find out his real name? I believe he's lost his passport. I believe he's working for the Chinese myself. I believe that Sam Lee is trapped in Dubai with a travel ban. And if you read the newspapers, the Chinese are advertising, you're bringing people over in their droves, and they're working between Thailand, India, Cambodia, and the UAE. And there's a lot of human trafficking going on. I would not be surprised if ShaveZ is under the thumb of some Chinese organization telling them what to do. These guys are all puppets. There's a reason why someone doesn't tell you his name. Are you really investing in a guy who calls himself ShaveZ and doesn't admit to having a last name, who claims that he'll pay somebody $10,000? So if you have any information about ShaveZ that you can give me, I don't want the $10,000, but go to dehek.com, which is my website. On there, there's a form where you can contact me and you can fill out a form anonymously and give me information. Also, my phone number is plastered all over the internet. I also have a Telegram group. So if you're watching my video on my YouTube channel, go to the About Us section and you'll see 6 links that point to my Telegram group, my website, and also I have some other videos on Odyssey, which I can't put on YouTube. So please reach out to me. Tell me any information about this guy. I've tried doing reverse image searches. I've gone through everything I can to find the real ShaveZ, and he doesn't exist. And I thought I hit gold when I got his name. Obviously, he claimed in this here that you hear in a minute that he wasn't responsible for reporting my video. In fact, he's trying to allege he didn't know anything about it, which is quite funny. Anyway, what I can tell you about a copyright strike is you can't do them willy-nilly. You actually have to prove you're actually the YouTube account. And if you go through my other video about ShaveZ, about 10 videos back, you'll actually see the email I received. I actually received an email address from the account that owns the same account that posts all the We Are Satoshi videos. And also, when you report somebody, you need to use your full name and address. I don't get the address, but I did get the name. And I also got the company behind it all. Now, that channel has been going well before Sam Lee. Before it was going when Sam Lee was running it. So what I'm getting at is, if you want to get technical, Sam Lee didn't have control of the YouTube account. ShaveZ doesn't have control of the YouTube account. Someone else has control of the YouTube account. So I believe they're all working for Chinese, the Chinese running these Ponzi schemes, and it would equate for all the buildings that they're building and the like. This is just one of many scams. This is why they tell you about hundreds of different scams that are coming out, because they are pumping these out and they're getting the low-hanging fruit from you, which is the $50, $150, or $500, hoping that you're going to get a return on your investment that sounds too good to be true. Anyway, carry on, ShaveZ. It gets more intense as time goes on because I'm getting sick of getting no questions answered here, and they're just taking the piss out of me. Okay, so you reported a video to YouTube and you used a fake name. Is that correct?
I don't do all that, brother. I have a life. I have work. I do real work.
So you reported a video to YouTube and you got somebody else to do it. Is that what you're talking about?
Danny,
can you not answer any question I have?
a lot of people work for me.
So did you report the video of me exposing you to YouTube and get someone else to do it? Is that a yes or a no?
I don't do all this rubbish work.
So that's a no? Want me to answer your question?
I have real work to do.
All right. So you started your own corporation at 17. Is that correct? What was that corporation called?
This is not a ShaveZ interview.
See how old Tammy just cuts you off? You can't even get a question answered. I mean, it was comical being in here, and I actually think I did really well. Remember, I'm a one-man band, And you've got 342 people in this chat room at the moment. And this was their big event for the week. Now, if 70,000 people have invested in We Are All Satoshi, why is there only 342 people in the Zoom meeting? Why do they talk such large numbers, like $260 million in an advertising budget? The proof of reserve, $4,200,000. Yes, okay, ShaveZ, didn't understand how it works. I can see $4.2 million sitting in the Vault Horizon, sorry. Oh, that's the proof of reserve. So that means that there's only ever been $14 million deposited into We Are Satoshi. Where did the $260 million marketing budget come from? And how come you have 70,000 people that have signed up for We Are Satoshi, you've only got 342 people? Now let's take it to another level, people. Danny de Hek, 5,340 subscribers. Please do subscribe. I really do value every single one of my subscribers. I have not paid for any of my subscribers. They're all genuine. If you comment, I will comment back. That's what I do. I love my YouTube channel. It's awesome. Now, they have 7,500 people on their YouTube things. They've only ever published 56 videos. Looking at the last 20 videos that they published, their average is 600 people. My average for the last 20 videos, and I do long form videos, is actually 1,100 people. I'm doing better than this organization. Now, I haven't got 70,000 people behind me that's investing money into this Ponzi scheme. Now, my mate Rob was in this chat and he was going through the chat room. Most of the people in there were giving me daggers and they were texting me stuff and they were making fun of my age. They were making fun of my wealth. They were making fun of my YouTube videos. They were doing anything they could. Now, why would they do that? That is because they don't care about the mining. They don't care about the Bitcoin. They want to have a package to sell their friends and their family members. If you go back and look at one of my videos I did about Alistair Maybury, he said that there's a platform out there when you have exhausted all your church members and your family, you need new leads. And he's trying to encourage people to sign up for a platform which will generate fresh leads who may be interested in buying what he has to scam them with. Funny thing about that same platform he was promoting, he was getting 50% of whatever people pay would go into his back pocket. And then I go into other YouTube channels that he's associated with and they're promoting the same package. These guys are multi-level marketers. These are the bottom feeders of the world. Tammy said that I called her a bitch. I limit what I say about this lady, but I watched Tammy Jackson promote Hyperfund, Hypercapital, Hypertech. You wouldn't have even heard of some of those names. Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hypercosmos, Hypernation, Hyper Bond, Hyper NFTs. And then she's jumped straight out of that frying pan and into the fire and started promoting Stable Deo. And then VidiLook 1, VidiLook 2. I'm surprised she's not doing VidiLook 3, but she's busy promoting We Are Satoshi. Now, We Are Satoshi, ShaveZ, I forgot to ask him, how's your tattoo going? Now, we're going to rebrand We Are Satoshi and rebrand that. Why would you rebrand such a successful company? You've already taken Sam Lee's face off it. Why did Sam Lee walk away from this company after investing? Well, did he invest? Where did the $260 million advertising come from? And don't tell me, it's just ridiculous. So let's carry on giving Danny de Hek, the one-man band who's doing better at marketing than the 70,000 We Are Satoshi people who are trying to get something together so they can scam their friends or family. No, if he wants to give me, if he wants to call me my friend, dear Tammy, then I have a right to ask him a few questions if I'm going to do business with him.
You need to make an arrangement so you can have an interview with ShaveZ.
Well, we can't answer these questions on a live Zoom because we're exposing who he is.
This is my call. It's not yours, okay?
Okay, you're going to shut me off, gaslight me like you gaslight everyone else for many years? People have lost thousands of dollars to these schemes.
Nobody lost.
I've watched thousands of hours of these videos. You
don't know anything. You're very naive.
I know he said that he started up his own corporation at 17 years of age, but he won't say the name of the company. He also said that he provided services to Marble Studios, but there's no proof of that. He also said that he has worked with governments. There's no proof of that.
So what's your background? I'm
fully transparent. Go to dehek.com. You find out everything about me. I don't hide behind my name. But if I'm going to take money from you guys, then I'm saying if I'm going to take your money, at least let me know the name of the person who's taken the money.
Okay.
G'day. I've got some people I know in the chat room. I'm going to do a bit of a laugh. We've got why ShaveZ don't show his passport to prove his transparency. Good question. So a lady's just asked, why doesn't ShaveZ show his passport to show his transparency? Because remember when ShaveZ first came out, he talked about how he would be 100% transparent. So not hiding behind his name is just a waste of time. The other thing we've got Project Frugal. Now, Project Frugal is a mate of mine, Vinny. I'm in Christchurch, New Zealand, in the South Island, and Vinny's in Wellington in the North Island. He works for the government, so he knows his stuff. Now, Vinny did 10 videos exposing Sam Lee, Ryan Jew, and he did a deep dive. I've never seen anything. Even Kalpesh Patel went after one of his videos, and it's still online, and it's all blurred out, but he blurred out all the parts where Kalpesh Patel didn't want it. It was quite funny. But if you want to go back and look at the complete history, now we're talking going back to when they had Bitcoin Group with Sam Lee. And he showed how they were trying to do a raising of funds for $20 million, and they got to 2.9 million, which was a good attempt. But all the money that they raised in that money grab, I call it, was going to pay into directors' fees. And basically everything that led up to the beginning of Blockchain Global, Vinny has done an awesome 10 videos, I think it's 11 now, about the history, and it's just undisputable stuff. Deep dive. He's even got videos of Sam Lee when he was working in a small little room trying to find money to buy food for the groceries, just when he was on his bones of his ass. We even show where Sam used to live when he was in Melbourne. It was a whole lot of pokey little flats, and we just a whole deep dive. So we've done our research investigating these guys. Now, this is ridiculous. They've gone on about Sam Lee, and they've kicked him out, and then all of a sudden he's left everything on the table, and ShaveZ has walked in here and decided to take it over. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so we've got a few other questions. Do you think Hyperverse will pay us back the one times? Now, I'm sorry, Cole, but that is just an exit strategy. Now, I will address that while I'm here, and I'm going to just do a few questions, because Kalpesh Patel and Keith Williams were two people that really boosted Hyperverse. Now, Roy Konacha claimed that only 300,000 people had got invested in Hyperverse. Sam Lee claimed that 2 million people have got invested. Other people claim that 1.5 million people got invested in Hyperverse. So if you do the maths on that, 1.5 million times 300 is $4 billion. All of a sudden, Sam Lee told Kalpesh Patel. Kalpesh Patel messaged me, and then he deleted it, but I took a screenshot. He said that Sam Lee told Kalpesh Patel that they were transferring money out of the Hyperverse wallet into Bitcoin. Into Bitcoin, and they were never doing any investments in whale trading, like they were told them, or startups. And also, the other thing, they offered Kalpesh Patel a shit ton of money to do a slow exit strategy. Now, I did a video about Keith Williams. I thought Keith Williams was doing an exit strategy by claiming that he had stage 4 cancer. One of his best friends contacted me. We talked on Zoom, and I checked him out, who he was, everything was stacked up, and he said that Keith Williams really does have cancer. So karma does catch up with some of these people. Keith Williams, I was about to do a video to blow him out of the water. I found his £3 million house. I found out he has a couple of million in the bank. I also found out he's got some investments. His son is Andrew. He's looking after his estate now. And basically, Keith was doing a 60th birthday bash. His neighbour contacted me and said, when is Keith Williams going to get locked up? Now, I know that Keith Williams went to pay $1.5 million in taxes and got refused because they were investigating him for fraud and money laundering. So I know all this sort of stuff. I'm following these guys all the way back. Now, Keith Williams, remember when he came out and he decided that he would be the global sales representative for Hypernation? His best friend told me that he was hoping that they would be able to get this Ponzi scheme back on the ground and to be able to trade their way out of it. Keith theoretically didn't realize this was a scam, which I believe is a load of crap. No one could promote this thinking it was a legitimate business opportunity, but at that point, Keith still felt it was legitimate, and it was only when the withdrawals stopped been paid out, Keith realised it was a scam. So they come up with slow exit strategies. Keith Williams was the one that suggested that he would help people get their initial investment back through Hypernation. And that's when all these idiots who are promoting these Ponzi schemes start coming up with, oh, let's do a class action lawsuit. Let's start up another Ponzi scheme and help trade yourself out of another one. Now, I tracked a transaction for $842 million that went out of a crypto wallet at the same time all the money was disappearing out of Hyperverse. Now, I got the clever people that investigated that for me, told me that it was broken into small amounts, which would equate them buying Bitcoin and hauling it into the vaults, and you'd never see it again. So there's no money for any one times reward. I'm sorry. The latest update from Sam Lee. What else we got? His panic name. Right, sorry, I can't read all that, but anyway, let's get back into it. Sorry guys, I just needed to clear some of that up, and I'll leave the chat window open.
You done?
What's your name?
You done?
No, I'm not done. I've got so many questions, but we hurry me along like it's not important. You ask people to put in money into a platform, but you won't. Any of your claims cannot be substantiated. You don't have your own corporation. You claim you have have signed NDAs, and you don't give people information. This is gaslighting. This is like a religious cult.
Oh, okay.
So you call it.
Why don't you let some other people ask me some questions? There's a lot of hands up.
I'm not here to ask you anything.
Do you really think it will happen here?
You're a nobody, Danny. So you can.
I don't care. I'm quite happy to be a nobody, but I don't want to die knowing that I scam people. How about Keith Williams? Is he a nobody as well? What about Kalpesh Patel?
This call right here
Clayton
is about
Ford.
Bitcoin. Okay, we're not here to kind of go back into history.
Sheila Morris.
And try to substantiate
Clayton.
all your YouTube videos.
I make a few $100s a month.
Substantiate your.
This is the thing that really gets me. I mean, these guys literally go after anything. Now, I've got no shit on me at all. I'm squeaky clean, except for being brought up in a religious cult. My hidden agenda is to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I monetize my videos, and I deserve every cent if I get a cent. I mean, I literally get a few $100s a month. I mean, who cares? I mean, I deserve every cent. And if you guys want to help, give me, donate money, or say thanks, or buy me a cover copy, it's appreciated. It's not paying my bills at the moment. I work a couple of days a week. I don't have to be rich. I don't have to be poor, but I have good values. And I wish I could say the word I want to. I'm out here exposing these guys. I think these guys are bottom. I'm the one that gets the emails and the messages from people who have lost money every single day. I get told that someone has lost money. So it's just ridiculous that they go after what they can. They'll pick on me for being old. They will pick on me because I look like I'm poor. They'll pick on me because I'm trying to make money out of a YouTube channel. I mean, these guys, every single one of the people in this Zoom meeting are looking to profiteer from selling a mining package or learning how to create crypto, are all doing it for the money. And the only thing they can come back at me with saying is I'm making money out of doing these YouTube videos. Really? I've researched that this company has only ever, going by what they are claiming their proof of reserve, has only ever brought in $14 million. All the money has gone. There's no proof at all that any of the money has been withdrawn out of the marketing budget. They reckon they had a $260 million marketing budget. Really? Prove it. No one believes it. You're talking shit. And then you say that, do I not understand how it works? 30% of the money paid into the platform goes into the vault. 68% of the money goes into the marketing budget. 2% of it goes to the tech company behind it that used to be Sam Lee, which is now miraculously ShaveZ's company. Now that $260 million that you had in the advertising budget would change everything around the other way. That would mean, if we go back, and we're going to reiterate because I think it's important, Scenario 2, if you really did have a marketing budget, where's my mouse gone? There it is, a marketing budget of $260 million, that would mean that the total money invested would be $382 million. The vault would have $114 million in the vault that no one could touch. And the tech team would have received $7,600. I'll put the right screen on. Okay, so in that scenario, $5,462 would have been the average that the people, the 70,000 people would have put into it. Does that sound like legitimate numbers to you? So let's go to the actual $14 million has been invested. $9,520,000 has gone into the marketing budget. And we can prove this because we've got the proof of reserve, which has only got $4,200,000 in it, which is 30% of the money deposit. And the tech team, all the monies and the hassles and the 5,000 staff that Sam Lee claimed to have, has only received $280,000 to date. That's just, and the average is $200 a person. Now that sounds a more realistic figure. So I don't know why I started telling you that, but the figures don't add up. And these guys are just trying to say that people are going to become miners. And the guys in the Zoom meeting right now are there because they're hoping to get that commission from you when you sign up for these platforms. That's all they're after. Kate Longley, she's in this window somewhere. She is. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but she's on the right-hand side. She's changed the logo in the back of her screen because they used to have Sam Lee's face in there. But she's the lady that did the presentation, and she showed us in here. And if we go back to her, you can listen to this for one more time in case you didn't listen to it the first time. Marketing budget. Listen to this. Press play.
The actual, well, their personal checks of his, he actually is a multi-billionaire. But
is he?
The company has a $260 million marketing budget. So
his company. So she said a multi-billionaire, and he has a marketing budget of $260,000. Now, ShaveZ, our dear friend in this very window, is telling us that he watched the advertising budget bleed dry. Now, this advertising budget bleeding dry, $260 million at $65 million a month. He watched it bleed dry. Mathematically, going by the money in the Vault Horizon, it doesn't add up. It does not add up because there's only 4 million. I can't even say there's so many more times, but there's only $4 million in the Vault Horizon. So there's $14 million ever gone into this platform. How did they get the money out of the marketing budget? It doesn't add up. There's no way that much money, even if they gave people 10x their money that they invested, and all of a sudden the money went out in a short period of time, doesn't make sense. And remember, Sam was doing cash grabs at the time, trying to raise money. He'd already been locked up in Dubai prison for 3 nights because he had wrote out 2 checks for $1 million and they bounced. And a Dubai businessman had complained to the Dubai police and they arrested him. And now he's under travel ban. Does that not make more sense than what ShaveZ is telling you? I mean, you're just playing a game of Monopoly. Let's carry on. Keep on abusing me, guys. It looks like I know shit at the moment.
YouTube videos.
Oh,
okay, we're not trying to do that. This
I'm
call
still
right
recording.
Here is about Bitcoin code, of which we have a product which you obviously know zero about.
No, you don't.
Okay, but you want to try to speak to, but you don't know anything about it. You don't know anything about this industry at all, but you claim you do, but you know zero.
Scammers.
The questions that you've asked, and they're all stupid questions.
So at this point, they've actually cut me off, which is quite funny. I don't need to know anything about this industry because this is a Ponzi scheme. And they're relying on people, memberships. When you sell a membership, they steal Peter's money to pay Paul. It's as simple as that. So it doesn't matter what they're selling. This is the same as the religious cult that I was brought up in. They promised us a paradise. The Jehovah's Witnesses told me that we, the righteous, would inherit the earth. All the wicked people will be destroyed, and we would spend 1,000 years cleaning up all the dead bodies after God had killed out all the unrighteous people in the earth. I used to believe that. So these guys are the same. This is like a religious cult. The people in here can just see money and they're hoping that they're going to get their money back. Right, let's carry on.
What? This industry, and you claim you know something, but you don't know anything.
I do.
You know zero.
You
Scammer.
don't know the difference between coin and token, and you was
Exactly. You don't know anything.
I do know lots more than the average bear. I know a lot more than most people. I'm not claiming to. I'm asking some questions that I'd like answered.
Stop giving your expert opinion to public about me if you don't know anything about me.
I know this is a Ponzi scheme because you don't have a product. You haven't made any money.
We have a product and you don't even know that we do.
Yeah, good question though, eh? What money has this platform made? What money? Listen to what I'm saying. If you are a We Are Satoshi, a fan, then what money has this company generated to date? You haven't made any money. The only way this survives is, look, just keep talking. You guys run the show. I'll listen.
You don't get the privilege to do that.
No, you don't have the privilege. You will be kicked out.
Oh, big threats. It's great. Well, what am I doing in here then?
Goodbye.
Bye, Dad.
Okay. Right. Well, that was my experience. I was actually quite pleased. I mean, when you're a YouTuber, and I am a one-man band, and I literally spend 80 hours a week, I actually am exhausted. And I'm not kidding you, kids. I actually feel quite emotional, even now, just going through that ordeal. I mean, I do feel like I'm taking on the world with these scammers. Now, there's some heroes in my industry, like CoffeeZilla. Now, CoffeeZilla reached out to me, gave me his phone number, and I rang him up. He was awesome. He said, pick the people you go after. Now, I am in New Zealand. Someone tried to sue me for defamation for $3.8 million. That actually cost me $36,000. Now, when it went to the High Court judge, I had a 217-page affidavit about the scams that this guy, Stephen McCullough, had been doing. And he had produced over 100 articles on the internet trying to claim that I was a scammer. He'd also made claims that that there was a guy called Paul Cobbs, and he was saying that I was associated with him and that I was a white supremacist. And we had a mosque shooting here in New Zealand that killed 51 people, and they were alleging that I was connected to it. This is the extent that this guys went to. So when I got my first cease and desist letter on the 19th or the 20th of January, I spent 2 weeks putting together a video, fully researching the guy that I was going after. Did a deep dive. And that's when I started really building databases of people that I see scamming people. So if you're scamming people, I will do the same. I've got a database. I get contacts all day long, and that's how I'm thriving at the moment, is because people are giving me information about people anonymously or they have lost money. Anyway, so I did a 4-hour, 47-minute long video about this guy, exposing him for the scammer he was. Right from, get this, doing a Kickstarter campaign, raising $29,000 to go hunt live dinosaurs in the Congo and human-sized tarantulas. And the other thing he did in 2016 is he's raised $75,000 for a Kickstarter campaign to hopefully raise enough money to get a game off the platform where if you played this game and you won, you would receive real gold. And then he had like competitions where he was giving away Tesla Cybertrucks, 2 of them, 2 sports cars, $1 million worth of real gold and $2 million worth of crypto. And when they read out the competition, the only thing that people won was the 2 sports cars, and the 2 of the people that won wanted to remain anonymous. And only 1,000 people looked at the video. And then this guy had his own country. It was called the United Allied States. So I had all this evidence piled up for a judge. And when I gave it to the judge because this guy was also claiming to be a billionaire. When he wouldn't put the money up for security of a cost, we were asking for $150,000 because this was going to be a 6 to 8 week court case, and we would have had jury, the whole 9 yards. So we were asking for $150,000 to put into a slush fund, so a trust fund, so that when he lost, I wouldn't be lumbered with my legal costs. Anyway, long story short, an hour and a half before the judge opened up my 217-page thing, he decided that he shouldn't take on the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and did a discontinuance. 180 hours it took me to defend myself. It cost $36,600 to be exact. The judge said we spent a little bit too much time, and he awarded the cost to me, and I got back $27,500, which means I have a deficit of over $8,000 to pay back. Now, there's no justice. Did I waver? Did I back off when these guys came after me? This guy was claiming to be a billionaire, and he was out to, as the judge gave him a scolding, that it was worth the $8,000 that I still have to pay. But, well, the $36,000, because he will never pay the money because he's an American citizen. Even they asked me for his home address. So the Law Society, well, the people who claim get the money back after being awarded from the judge, didn't know this guy's home address. How corrupt is the law system when they let somebody be dragged through the courts and they don't even know the address to send the bill to? It's just terrible. So, hey, if I didn't back down with that mongrel, I'm not going to back down with these guys either. So if you want to promote these Ponzi schemes and make a bit of side hustle money, and I see you in these Zoom meetings, I literally have a database with everyone's name I see in these Zoom meetings, and everybody that provides me information is giving me another piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Now, I'm dyslexic. I left school at the age of 14. When I read words, they don't sink into my head. I have to listen to them. It takes a lot of my energy. It's exhausting for me to absorb the information. What I'm getting at, I'm not a genius. When I listen to these Ponzi schemers, I'm looking in the audience and the people. I'm a public speaker, and I've had a lot of training, and engagement is one of the most important things about when you do public speaking. When I'm looking at these people in these Zoom meetings, they're not engaged. They're not there to learn how to become miners. And this is where We Are All Satoshi will fall over. People are there because they want to put their money in, do nothing passively, and get money back. But in the Zoom meeting I was in, these are all the top people. These are all the top leaders. These are the people that claim to have teams of people underneath them. And they go back like little sparrows with their little worms, and they feed their downlines and tell them this is the new thing. I mean, look at Carl Millar, an Australian guy, 3.5 hours away from me on an airplane flight. He works for a living, and on a Monday and a Wednesday night, they're on there. They haven't done any videos for 3 weeks. They haven't published one video on their YouTube channel. They were doing a video every 4 days promoting We Are Satoshi. Now they've lost their nerve. My next video is going to fully expose Carl Millar. I've got 2 recordings, 15 minutes long, each of him doing the sales pitch. And then it's all fallen over, and Vera, the lady who said I can use the recording, has actually lost $90,000 to various Ponzi schemes and scams. The last video I did was her when she believed that some scammer could claw back her crypto. She paid him $1,800 so he could use some clever software, and then when he had her money onto a fake wallet address, he was alleging that if she wanted to transfer the money out of this WordPress website, that she'd have to pay an additional $1,800. Just unheard of. Hey, look, I get to hear all the stories. What is my agenda? My agenda is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. It is to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I would love your comments and feedback. In the chat room, somebody's just donated $50 to me. That is just amazing. Thank you so much. Marie, I have actually had that before. That is just so kind. Thank you so much. So in my live chat, somebody has donated $50 just because, I don't know, I haven't read. So I would like to read all the comments, and I have quite a few. And I'm just going to put that up because that is absolutely amazing. And why I've got that, thank you so much. That's so kind. Just remember, these are the scammers that I am going after. And I've got Sheila Morris, Goran Hempstorm, Tony Marks Seymour. I can't even read their names. That's how bad it is. But I do deep dives. I mean, have a look at Kate Longley, for example. We found out everything about her, even where she lives. I've got videos of her doing her thing, her home address, her family. And not only that, she's been promoting. These are all the scams that she's been promoting. Listen to this.
Stable Group, Crypto Wallets, VidiLook, G999, Hyperfund, World Trader 365, Sea Wealth, Gold Rocks, Easy Shopping Cards, at V999, Carrot Bars.
So there you go, guys. So there's my YouTube channel. I currently have 5,340 subscribers. I value having you as a subscriber, and I thank you so much for the lovely the comments. What I might do is I can't bring them on this screen because it uses too much resources on my computer. So I actually learned how to share the screen on my phone in real time at the time, and I had to get some software. Actually, I tell you what, the software that I used to do that cost $50. So the lady who donated me that money, thank you. You've just paid for the software that enables me to have the chat window on the screen. So that's absolutely awesome. Hey, I'm starting to go on a bit. I'll read the comments later. I'm Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do watch a few more. What really does help me is by providing a comment in my videos, hitting the thumbs up, and obviously everyone who's got a YouTube channel is always asking people to subscribe. What those 4 things do: subscribe, hit the bell, be notified when new videos come out. It tells YouTube you like my videos. And if you're good at watching VidiLook, then watch the video from the start to the finish. And there will also be timestamps. Now, I know I said I was finishing, but I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to go to workshop mode, and I'm going to show you the last video I did. And if you go to this video, go down to the more part, and when you get to the more part, you go to the very bottom, and you'll see a view all. And when you're on the view all, you can see now you can flip through the different chapters, and it's the same on a mobile phone. And you can basically click on that part and it will take you directly to that part of the video. So what I do now is I edit it, render it, put it on the internet, and then I timestamp it so you don't have to watch. But if you watch a little bit of all the timestamps, that also helps Google like my videos. All right, I've raved on enough. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Recording. Boom. Finished. Wow. Well, thank you so much for that that donation. It really is very kind. Really appreciate that. I get quite excited about. I've only ever had one other $50 one. I get quite a few $2 ones and $5 ones. I get people buying me cups of coffee every now and again, but that is truly generous, and I mean that. So if you can help out, that's great. What have we got here? We've got Tammy cried and begged for us to believe in Sam. She did. Sam was good, and Sam will make us rich. That's what she said. Days later, we invested in VAV and trusted him because she cried, and we were all stupid to believe him. You know, it is actually gutting just watching it, because I've literally watched, when I saw that one Hypercosmos and there was no product, no hope, no nothing. It was just incredible. Anyway, I'm going to go have dinner, give my partner a hug. I'm going to tell her that somebody gave me $50, which is very kind and much appreciated, and that really made my day worthwhile. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to tune off here now, and hopefully that video will be online, and I'll try my best to get it online in about 6 hours. All right, thanks, guys. And ShaveZ, if you have watched this part, why didn't you answer those questions I had in the first part? I mean, where did the $160 million advertising budget come from? And if it is all through the 68%, 2%, and the 30%, then why would somebody invest $260 million? Who owns We Are Satoshi, and why don't they want a return on their investment? Simple question. And tell us your name. What's your name, mate? All right, guys. See you later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can press the right buttons. That one there. End.